Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Syrup Shots Gaming. I'm Tyler, and with me is Rocket Man Coach Dave.
Yeah!
He's a rocket
I'm a
man.
rocket man. Da, 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 da. Actually, the boys have done very well this week. We play regionally in the Central Time Zone region, and that is 400 plus teams. They are now in a three-way tie for first place.
Nice.
Yes, and my wallet may regret this. Again, I would like to point out, I'm not getting paid for this because, again, this was like the test run of the whole esports team for our school. And so a lot of this stuff I've kind of fallen into backwards and am discovering things as we go. But I said to the boys, I'm like, okay, because I'm like, there's 436 teams or something like that. All right, you boys get in the top 10%. I will custom order, because you can do this. You can actually do this. I said I will custom order you all Giordano's pizza and have them shipped to the school. Now, here's the thing. Giordano's will do that for you. You can order like 2, 4, 6, 10, and they will pack them in dry ice and ship them to you, and you cook them at home. All right? But then when I found out, like, wait, we are like in a three-way tie for first place. What are they going to want if we actually win the whole thing? So now I'm still trying to keep them in check, like, let's not be arrogant, or anything like that. But it's just also in the back of my head, how much money am I going to lose that I'm probably not going to get reimbursed for? Crap. Because, let's put it this way, 4 pizzas to be shipped to you from Giordano's is $100. Yeah. So, although I did send out like an email to the teaching staff, just be like, yes, we had a match over spring break, and we won. And I explained also what I had done, and I had like a couple messages come back. Well, I'd be happy to contribute for a slice.
Do a barrel roll.
Oh, why? Thank you. Oh, you might want to bleep my last name.
Yep, that is the second bleep already in this episode.
What? What did I say already? Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel bad. Well, back butt words doesn't sound as fun.
No, but you could abbreviate it, BB, back butt words.
Yep, back butt words.
Back butt words.
Back butt words.
You know what? That's a new superhero. We're going to create a comic. It's going to star Bat Butt Words.
Bat Butt Words.
And also being super silent thus far, we've got Phil.
Oh, am I silent? I haven't silent, haven't I?
Yeah, you haven't said anything yet.
It's okay. We're just inventing the world's worst superhero.
Yeah.
But backwards or bat?
Bat Butt Words.
One is the reverse Flash version of the other.
The Negoduck to Darkwing Duck.
Yes. Oh, well, Lord.
Welcome to the show. Each week, we friends gather together, catch up, talk about gaming, and all sorts of funsies. So I've actually got something I want to start off with here. So, Dave and Phil know this here, but I collect the amiibos, specifically the Super Smash Brothers ones. And I very much lucked into an Amazon... Nice.
I'm holding up the Monster Hunter ones that came out this week.
the Magnamalo is that
yes.
one. I lucked in to Amazon getting a restock on Terry.
Nice.
So I showed my wife. I was like, isn't he the most 90s character you've ever seen? And she looked at me very perplexed and goes, the delivery guy from the pizza place in Toy Story is a character?
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's actually his name, too.
Really long announcement time for
Yeah.
that, but
Pizza guy from Toy Story.
Planet Pizza Delivery Guy.
Yep. It would be even better if you could actually customize that and make the star on his back into the Pizza Hut logo. That would be hysterical.
If I ever stumble across a second one, I might do that.
Oh,
But he is staying as pristine as possible.
yep. I managed to luck into him. As I said last week, though, while everybody else was lining up for Monster Hunter Rise, you guys got any of the Terry amiibos? Yes, we've got 2. Would you like one? Yes.
I might have to turn in my nerd card. Where's Terry from?
Fatal Fury.
Or the King of Fighters series.
Yeah, King of Fighters. Which is weird because, like, apparently Fatal Fury and King of Fighters, even though they have the same characters, do not have the same story canon. Like, the Terry Bogard from Fatal Fury is different from the Terry Bogard in King of Fighters. And it's just like, that's okay. Whatever.
I don't know if you've been keeping up, but there's a new King of Fighters coming out this year, King of Fighters 15.
Mm-hmm.
And they're announcing 1 to 2 characters every week until the game comes out. This is going to be a roster of like 50 to 60 characters.
Oh, they're shooting for Smash Brothers levels. Nice. Yeah. I gotta say, I never followed that series as much as like Street Fighter, but I never had anything against it. It's just, I guess Neo Geo was just too expensive for our arcades here in town. Although I want to say Pizza Hut had it for a while, but they only had like Samurai Showdown in it.
So I actually remember one place that did have it in town. Do you remember the old bowling alley that was kind of where the?
Oh yeah, I remember
it had it there. Mm-hmm. In that nondescript town we're talking about.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we're trying not to give away our locations. For those of you wanting to know, though, it's Clarksville, Arkansas. Totally Clarksville, Arkansas.
Totes.
Yep.
My introduction to Terry was actually through a Capcom game.
Oh yeah.
Capcom versus SNK 2EO for the GameCube.
Oh, that was some fun times playing. You introduced me to that game too.
Yeah, that I actually I love it so much. Before they killed the PlayStation 3, I re-downloaded it.
Nice.
I downloaded it.
We'll have to talk about that here in a minute because
I actually have some good news on that too.
Yeah, I read some stuff, but my fear is that come June, I'm going to be shoving every disc into my PS3 to be like, does this have DLC? Yes. Crap. Okay. How much money does it cost? It costs money. Crap. Darn you, Sony.
Is there a dollar amount on this? Yes.
Why does it have to be during summer break?
Yes. Well, actually, that'll be beneficial for the time part of it, but the money part of it is just, that's going to be. Luckily, though, I do have like, if it was like a game I liked, I usually picked up the DLC, so that'll be that. And I also do find it nice though that they are going to keep the computers on, so that way though, if you did download something, you can still re-download it. It's not going.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, it's not going.
Yeah.
It's going away, but not to be. You won't be unable to do anything.
Right.
It sounds like what they did with the PSP for a while now. Actually, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, which I'm cool with. If they want to do bare minimum, hey, it validates that you can still have this.
And also, I guess what I like too, though, is that even though like now it kind of puts into light, well, what's going to happen with PS4? And I'm like, well, that one's not going to go away because all PS5s, play PS4 games, and that's one of the big selling points. So, well, that store's not going to go away anytime soon, at least.
That is
so. True. Yep. Yeah, but I'm a little concerned about that. And now we also had the death of Mario recently on March 31st, which is when I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, everyone hated the Disney Vault crap back in the 90s. We all hated it. And now Nintendo's doing the same thing. And it's just like, don't feed my addictions more.
We all hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But people shelled out money.
Oh, yeah. As did I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, and I don't know why Nintendo feels like they need more money. The new Monster Hunter is printing money for them.
Mm-hmm. I need to pick it up, but again, I'm still kind of like, if I pick it up, I know I won't finish Monster Hunter World Iceborne, which I'm like, I really need to do that first. But Phil, what we're talking about...
I'll talk about Monster Hunter World in a little bit here too.
Yeah. I don't know if you knew, Nintendo did the Mario's 35th anniversary year. And what they released a couple limited time only games that come March 31st, they were going to be taken off of the Nintendo eShop, and then the only way to get them was what limited physical copies were left in stores. And so that was the Super Mario 3D All-Stars game, the Super Mario Brothers Game & Watch. Oh, excuse me. They were also going to take down, and I believe stop using Super Mario 35, which only now did I, in the last month, did I actually pick up and start playing and was like, okay, this is actually really cool. Why are you getting rid of this? You dummies.
Oh, so they can introduce Super Mario 100 where it's you got to pay for the game.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay. Yep. Although now I am looking forward to, because rumor has it, though, that because of coronavirus, that extended Mario's 35th year anniversary into this year, which is not the 35 anymore. It's now 36. But now, though, they are looking at, I think, the Zelda 35th anniversary stuff is going to be coming down the pipeline here soon. And I mean, there's been talk about the Skyward Sword re-release, which I'm actually looking forward to. I would like to try and play it with a different control style, even though I didn't mind the control style it had. But I think in terms of plot, it's probably my favorite Zelda in terms of story, because there were a lot of cool things that they did with the lore. But I just, at the same time, I'm like, darn you, Disney Vault. I don't know. Thoughts and opinions on that?
I'd seen them market the whole Death of Mario thing. I thought it was fan made, honestly. I didn't realize there was a big announcement.
Yeah, when they announced the game last year, they literally said it's going to be available until March 31st.
And then it's going back in the Nintendo Vault.
So, curiosity, Dave, do you know why it was March 31st?
No.
End of the fiscal year. Bump up sales right before the end.
Are you freaking kidding me? I call BS on that.
So the year that they acknowledged was the fiscal year Mario came out.
It makes so much sense now.
Yep.
Lame. I get it, but at the same time, it's like, you're sneaky jerks.
Every time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Something's getting delayed. Look at the fiscal calendar.
Good point.
Or if it's being pushed right up to the end of the fiscal year, it's coming in hot.
I mean, some stuff I can understand. It's just the fiscal year stuff I never understood. I'm like, the year ends in December, But, and I could always understand, well, yeah, you're pushing it to be out like in December, so that way it can be there for Christmas. I understand Christmas, but some of this fiscal year stuff is just I never understood it, and I worked in a business that worked on that principle for 5 years, and it's just ugh.
Mm-hmm.
That's my gaming gripe of the week, I guess. It's just like Nintendo doing the Nintendo Vault, although I am excited to see what they bring out for Legend of Zelda. However, I also wouldn't mind if, they wouldn't forget, like Metroid and, a couple of those other anniversaries like Star Fox, things like that.
Yeah. Well, maybe forget Star Fox Zero, but you know what? If they want to bring Star Fox back, it's real simple. Nintendo, I'm going to spell it out for you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You should do what you should have did with Mario 64. Exact same game, just redo it visually. 1080p, 60 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
Give it that nice new shine, but don't change any of the stuff. Like the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Keep it faithful.
Yeah.
Just completely rebuild it. And I will gladly pay you $60 again.
I wouldn't even mind seeing there was kind of like a mild trilogy of those games that they made, and I know some people were huffy over Star Fox Adventures because it was like, oh well, you're not flying around in a spaceship, it's not really Star Fox, but I kind of wanted to try that. I wanted to see more about what Fox was like, and I actually think that the other one they made for the GameCube, was it Assault?
Star Fox Assault. Yep. I
thought
like
they did.
Assault a lot.
Yeah, I like Assault a lot. Yeah.
Although I will say I wish there was a few less on foot missions and more air missions, ship missions.
Yeah. It was kind of. I remember for a long time when I was as growing up playing Star Fox, I always wanted something outside the ship. But that's a good point, though. Like they kind of went from one extreme to the other, where it was just now there was hardly anything.
Yeah.
I think if Assault had just maybe more levels even in it, that padded it out a bit more, because that one was actually fairly short, if I recall. I think that would help.
So was Star Fox 64. That's a game about pick up and play and go for the high score.
What was also nice about 64, though, is even though it was short, though it had several, like almost 30 levels. Didn't Assault have like 15? Because you could take different paths, and Assault did not have that, for what I recall.
So, if I'm remembering correctly, there's either 6 or 8 missions that you do in a run. I think there was only like 15 actual levels in Star Fox 64.
I might be misremembering things because my rose tinted nostalgia glasses.
It's like that Mario meme I posted.
Which one was that?
Oh,
that's the one where what we remember, what we think Mario 20 years ago was.
Oh, yeah.
Like Super Mario World.
Yep.
Actual 20 years ago, Sunshine.
Yep.
Yeah, that stung a little bit.
So if Sunshine actually came out 20 years ago, you know what also would be needing to have an anniversary for 20 years? Melee.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
So
I could see them having an event in Ultimate for that, but I don't know if they would.
They've had a couple already.
Oh, okay,
they've had a couple
really?
Tournaments where it's just the Melee. I would love to see them make it can be digital only too. A re-release of Melee, adding in online. Give people who want to still keep Melee in tournaments an avenue to do it legally. I get Nintendo's like, no, buy our new thing. You've got rabid fans; they'll buy the old stuff again.
I know.
Just rebuild it with all the warts and all because people want to wave dash. They want to L cancel.
Yeah, and then that'll also help them not be butthurt over this thing with the fan-made program that allowed it to be played online. And I'm just kind of like, well, guys, here's the thing. You had to hack the system for a game that's not supported anymore, and then you were going to be offering an actual fiscal monetary prize. All of this without Nintendo's involvement necessarily. So, if they were to say nothing, it then gives the future, like, oh, well, they don't care anymore. We can do what we want. And it's just like, no, Nintendo has always been rather protective of
their IPs. Yeah.
Exactly. So I kept hearing so many people and YouTubers getting so butthurt over it, and it's just like, guys, you had to have known this was coming. All right.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the reason people are so butthurt about it is because Capcom don't care. You want to play Marvel vs. Capcom 2 online? Here you go. Yeah, go for it. We're not making that game anymore.
Mm-hmm. But they keep re-releasing it with like added content, though. I know that
they have not released Marvel vs. Capcom 2 since the PS3, and that did not have online.
Really?
Yep.
I thought it did have online. Huh.
Nope. Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 did, but not 2.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
Or Capcom vs. SNK 2EO. That's another example.
Yeah.
Gosh, that game was so good. I loved how like some of the characters would have like specialized intros. Like Mai would come in disguised as Chun-Li and then change. But she's not for this podcast. This podcast is for the good boys and girls.
Yeah, sure. That was one time when he came on and said that, and I'm just like looking at the screen, deadpan, like, really? And I'm like, okay, it's okay to have a sexy blonde in a skin-tight blue bodysuit, which can basically be changed into like the workout uniform. And it's also okay to have a overtly sexual witch whose outfit is skin tight and also made out of her hair and also slightly disappears as she uses power. That's okay, but apparently cleavage is the no. I don't get it. I'm just like, you modified Pyra and Mithra. Why didn't you just like, oh, she's wearing an undershirt?
Yeah. Are you familiar with what we're talking about at all, Phil?
Nope.
Okay, so let me backtrack.
I know the characters. Here. I know there's been some controversy with like the new Smash characters they announced. As far as I know.
Hey, place it says right here it did have online multiplayer for Marvel vs. Capcom 2 for
really?
the PS3 and Xbox 360 versions. Because I'm just sorry. You said that, and I'm just like, that would have been the dumbest thing ever if they didn't have online multiplayer for that. So I'm thinking.
I'm sorry. I think what I had read, if again I could be wrong on this, was that they're allowing people to do it with fan created rollback netcode.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Which is a completely different beast. So when Terry Bogard, pizza delivery dude, came to Smash Brothers. Sakurai did an intro on him and was talking about the King of Fighters stage. And King of Fighters has a lot of characters, and there's like 20 or 30 of them that are in the background.
Yeah, they just show up and hang out. And
yeah. The one character that's a big one in the series that's not there is
pretty much you could argue Mai Shiranui. And you could argue that she is the female mascot of the series. She's basically like the Chun-Li of the series.
Yep. But yeah, so Sakurai, she's got, I forget what the style is, but she's a particular fighting style where they use female assets to distract their opponents.
That's one way of putting it.
Lent over, loose-fitting clothing.
That's not a martial arts system I'm familiar with.
Yeah, that sounds like some made-up BS. Wait, it was Dead or Alive before Dead or Alive was Dead or Alive.
But Sakurai on the stream went, you guys might be noticing that Mai is missing here. Smash Brothers is the game for the good boys and girls.
And internet weebs everywhere had a collective groan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then what was even funnier was like when I went to download Terry, I was looking at the fan made stages, and someone had made a Mai Shiranui stage, and needless to say, there were two very obvious moving platforms in the stage because you battled on her body. So it's just like boring. And I'm just sitting there like, nice.
I don't think anything tops the lust level from Dante's Inferno on Xbox 360. Did you guys play that?
Oh yes, I did.
I know you did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
That
not,
was-
but I know of it.
You played a little bit of it, and I like brought it over to your house, and you played a little of it, and you were just like, Dave, I'm feeling kind of bad because I'm like running around in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I remember. And I
Yeah.
also was like, why are there so many snakes in the lust level? Oh. What does the roof of a snake's mouth look like? Oh.
They're not snakes,
so much
Dave.
stuff.
They're a very particular persona.
There's something, all right.
Mhm. I gotta give him kudos though. Like that game in general had, I'll say, original level design.
Yeah, the art for that game was fantastic. Everything else was pretty much stolen
Yeah, true.
because it was basically God of War.
There was.
God of War means Devil May Cry.
No, not even Devil May Cry. It was
Yeah,
just God of War.
can't even give it
Okay.
that much credit. It was just straight up God of War, but they changed swords. I think your main weapon was a scythe.
Yeah, you had
No.
Death's Scythe.
Yeah, and
So-
it was just
so-
Dante's Inferno.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of Greek, it's Christian mythology.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And even then, you had, green orbs for health, blue orbs for magic, red for experience points. To open a chest, you had to mash the circle button, stuff like that.
Yeah, not
I
very
mean, it was
subtle.
made by EA.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then even at the end, it's like to be continued. Yeah, that happened.
No, I don't think it was popular actually. I think like
Well, and then they're doing stupid stuff to try and promote it. So EA hired a fake group to publicly protest against the game, for having, like Christian iconography at E3. And it was very quickly found out that was, they were hired paid actors by EA. And it's just
I
like,
did not see that.
way to backfire on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they really wanted to get people riled up, they should have just released Dante's Inferno Nike shoes with like a little bit of blood in them. Have you not heard about this controversy?
That's new for me.
That's news to me.
So someone is being sued by Nike right now because they've made a custom Nike shoe. They've like taken the shoe and customized it. Where
Mhm.
each shoe has like a drop of blood in a little like vial thing built into the shoe of the maker's blood.
Okay.
And they're called the 666 shoes.
Okay. Yep. Well, I'm not like a sneakerhead or anything, so I wouldn't follow that.
I think I saw it on Kotaku.
Oh, I haven't read Kotaku in quite a while anymore, just
Fair
for
enough.
spoiler avoidance.
Fair enough.
Ugh.
I'll send you the link later on that because that is messed up.
Okay.
So, very interesting topics thus far. What have you
Yes.
guys been playing?
I am still stuck on Yakuza 0. I'm now 53 hours in, but I'm nearing the end game because I'm like on chapter 14 out of 17, and a lot of major plot points have been revealed. And I know, I think last week I was making mention that, these guys are bad guys, but that doesn't mean they're bad guys. And I said they don't really kill people, and it's just like, oh no, they will. It's just it has to be the exact right circumstances. So it's just like I got in a car chase with everyone like unloading guns at me, and so then it's like, here's a gun, blam blam blam. And I'm like, there is no Batman versus Superman logic leap that I can do. No, those people are dead.
They gonzo.
Yeah, but even then, still, I'm just like, it's still like he has a code of, a code of something. So it's not like people are dying randomly. It's just like when the odds are so stacked against him, it was just kind of like, okay, fine.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
I'm really enjoying it. And again, part of the weirdness, and this is probably going to be politically incorrect, but it is a trope that is commonly found in Japanese anime and games. And I got to say, every time I see it, I can't help but laugh my butt off. It is so funny sometimes. But it is the clearly the overly done homosexual character that is clearly like a super ripped buff dude, but doing like the absolutely most stereotypical like girly stuff, wearing like the halter top and the skirt. And so in the game you go up against a group called the Five Billionaires. The five guys who are billionaires who own and control 5 sections of the city, and each one is based off of what like that area of the city has to offer in terms of like entertainment. So one was called the Leisure King. The other one was called Leisure King. One was called the Electronics King because he owned like the arcades and the electronic stores and stuff. One was called the Gambling King. Well, there was also the Pleasure King, and the Pleasure King is that stereotype, and it's just like I couldn't help it. It was just some of this stuff that was coming out of his mouth was so funny, and just the dial, and I just can't help it. It's like, I feel bad, but at the same time, I can't help but not find this funny. It's just some of it. Like in one anime I was watching, they like send a guy to one of those characters' house, and he's just like. And then when he finds out, he freaks out and runs away. And it's like, no, come back. If you stay, I'll let you lick my lollipop. And it's like, oh. And I can't help but laugh at that stuff so much. And I had that situation. And now I defeated the Pleasure King. And he is now part of my company. And I basically can use him as a manager for adult-oriented entertainment sites to boost my profits. And because there's like a mini game to earn money in the in-game currency.
I'm sorry, Dave. All I heard was you finished the Pleasure King and you can use him whenever you want now.
That's what I heard.
Well, there we go. It's up there now.
Been playing this week.
Yep. Well, I'm not going to top that. Okay, thanks. Changing subjects, while I was out looking for collectibles this week, because I'm always on the lookout for fun stuff to add to the collection, I could not believe it, but Jakks Pacific has picked up the Sonic the Hedgehog license for toys, and they're releasing both classic-themed and modern-themed figures. And I could not believe it. He has been in only 3 games, but they have a Mighty the Armadillo figure. And I saw this, and I'm like, that is so obscure, I can't not buy it. This guy was a dead meme before memes even existed. There are posters in Sonic Adventure 2 with his face on it, and also the face of Ray the Flying Squirrel that says, "Missing, have you seen us?" Because it had been so long since then. He has been in the Sonic arcade game that used the like roller balls to run around, and I think it was called Sega Sonic the arcade game. And then he was in Knuckles Chaotix, which was a Sega 32X game, and then he only just recently appeared in Sonic Mania. That is it. And I think he was in the Archie comic book. I was so surprised, and I really like the design. I love I'm really kind of getting back into kind of the classic look of Sonic with like the pudgy belly and stuff like that. And so if they make more of like the classic Sonic figure, apparently this guy came out even before classic Sonic did. So I think I'll pick up the classic Sonic figure, and if they make like Tails, Knuckles, and Ray, I'll definitely pick them up. But now that classic Sonic is apparently like an alternate universe of Sonic.
I thought it was the past of Sonic.
I think that is what it started as, but then like Sonic Forces decided it was just like, oh well, now it's an alternate dimension, and I'm just like, Sega, I freaking hate you.
Oh, kind of like how Baby Bowser became Bowser Jr.
Yeah, pretty much. Only no, Baby Bowser is actually Bowser's baby, but now we have Bowser Jr., who is Bowser's son, and it's just like, whatever. What are the Koopa kids then from Mario Party, the original one? You know, I just don't even anymore.
They're just good friends.
Oh yeah, like the Koopalings, how they're not Bowser's kids anymore.
Right.
So I just tell people, what are the Koopa kids? And they're his nieces and nephews. It explains Wharton Koopa Jr. then.
Yeah. Phil, what have you been playing?
So I actually took a small break from Persona 5. My marathon day last week, I finished Will of the Wisps, Ori and Will of the Wisps.
Nice.
Good game. Kind of sad, but it's a good game. Well made. But then I've also been doing another playthrough of Doom Eternal. I'm wanting to do that and play the new expansions that have come out. So that's been my two games. They look really good, and looks like in Ancient Gods 2, they actually bring in some Titans that get to do some fighting. So I'm hoping to
Nice.
That. Yeah. But other than that, not much else. Like I said, I just did like a run through on Sunday to finish the one game, and just been picking up Doom Eternal throughout the week, and that's been pretty much it.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, though.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
I was just gonna. Okay. The only other thing, I think that both of us, I picked this up finally this past week, actually, and you picked this up as well. And after the podcast, we are all going to partake of it with special guest entertainer Doug, who likes to hide in the background. We've all picked up Earth Defense Force 4.1, actually, and that game is just dumb fun.
Yeah, it is.
In some aspects, it's a terrible game. Like, some of the graphics are like obviously budget or dated, but flying. The character I like to play, is flying around shooting like a giant like lightning gun at giant ants and other stupid stuff. So we're gonna all partake of that. So Tyler has yet to see this game, so we're all gonna introduce him shortly after this podcast. Yep. So he can give you his thoughts and opinions after on the next podcast.
It's as silly, dumb, and fun as it sounds.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so simple.
Yeah. It's not even like a B movie. It's almost like a D movie in case. Yeah. The dialogue really is though like a B movie. But the cool thing is though, I could easily see them reskinning it and making a Starship Troopers game.
Yeah, I'm actually a little surprised they haven't done something like that yet.
I know, yeah. That is one like franchise that has so much video game potential, and they have not really taken advantage of it.
I know there have been a handful of failed attempts to make a game, and they always do like some kind of strategy game. From what I've seen. I don't think I've seen them do a first-person shooter for Starship Troopers. I don't know why that hasn't been yet.
Yeah.
if I were to make a Starship Troopers game, and this is just me, I would do it either first or third person, Left 4 Dead style.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That'd
be dope. Okay, sorry.
Games, we don't make them.
Yep. Tyler, I cut you off. Are you still working on Outriders?
I haven't played much of Outriders just because I've been slammed with work. I was actually going to say I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise still.
Oh, okay.
And I am no longer a dual blades or a long blade user. It's hammer time.
Oh, I gotcha. No.
Go ahead.
Phil, wasn't that your original weapon you tried to use?
That was the first one I picked up, but it's funny you mentioned that because one of the things I had heard was that with Monster Hunter Rise, they sped up a lot of the mobility problems that people complained about, so it makes sense to go back to the hammer, because that was the reason why I switched back. Ironically, I went to the gun lance, but the gun lance had so much firepower, and you were able to dash when you needed to. So, but yeah, you could probably move pretty well now.
Yeah, so you played the hammer before. You know how if you were sliding downhill, you could do like a spinning jump thing?
Mm-hmm.
You can do that on level ground now using the wire bugs.
Nice.
So I basically blonk a spin into them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the only move that most hammer users do is they just find a hill on Monster Hunter World. They would find a hill, slide down it, and then just beat them all to hell.
Bonk. Bonk, bonk, bonk.
And that's kind of what I want to talk about with Monster Hunter Rise here real fast. I love how they've sped up the game in general. So when you're going after a new monster, you no longer have to, try to track it and, find different things dropped. Your map's there. You got on your map showing that there's a monster you don't know what it is somewhere on the map. You can go straight to it.
Okay.
You can when you're mining for like ore or like one of those special resources, you know how you used to do it 3 times?
Mm-hmm.
You do it once, it gives you all 3 now.
Oh, okay.
Good. As much as I loved Monster Hunter World, my one gripe with it was that there was just a lot of unnecessary fluff of like, you hammer it 3 times, and if you find something special, he holds it like, oh, I found something. There was a lot of stuff that could have been taken out that would have made each hunt a lot smoother, in my opinion.
And when your time is limited,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and that's the other thing is, how at the end of the match, you got so much time to kind of farm for materials, but there's usually like 5 to 10 seconds where they zoom the camera out where you can kind of see the dead monster. Yeah, you can cancel out of that and start harvesting immediately.
Nice. Because it took them like a while to add that into World. I know you can hit start and quickly skip that now, but I don't think you could do that right at the beginning.
Yeah, it is just a much faster paced game, and with World, there's this mountain right in front of me. I have to kind of go around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, I got my wire bug. I'm gonna wall run, just run up the mountain.
Nice.
It is so mobile. It's like jumping from place to place. I have never felt so acrobatic in a Monster Hunter game.
Nice.
The wire bugs change it where I don't know if I can go back to World, because World seems so slow now. And a lot of the monsters that are in World are in Rise.
Okay.
Anjanath.
Okay.
The Tigrex, Barioth, Nargacuga.
Well, those were always legacy monsters, so
yeah. Let's see here.
The Puke Puke.
Pookie Pookie's in there. Yep.
Nice.
There's a bear towards the beginning of the game that's usually pretty pacifist, unless you have honey in your inventory, and then it goes after you and steals your honey.
Nice. I like how we're getting some more diverse monsters instead of just because World seemed to focus solely on the wyverns as opposed to some of the other like crazier species that were in previous games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually made it like they were hard to hit because they were all floating, like flying.
nothing is hard to hit anymore. The way the wire bugs essentially work is every character can fly around the screen like they're an insect glaive user.
I like it.
Yeah. There's one last thing I was going to say. What was it? Oh, there's also a new mode in the game that I think is a really cool and interesting approach called the Rampages. Have you guys heard about these?
It's horde mode. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
It's half horde mode, half tower defense.
Oh.
So you actually have time to prep up first, so you can set up turrets and traps and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And they give you a lot of time to kind of approach it from different angles. So you can have someone on the ground level, someone prepping up the cannons while they're keeping the monsters at bay. And it always ends with an apex monster.
Well, what's the difference between an apex monster and a regular?
Kind of think of it like the difference between a arc-tempered and a normal.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, the video I saw. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say the video I saw, and it was that it actually they said they did a pretty good job. Like people have to have certain jobs. Like you have one person, like you were saying, like one person manning the towers. That's all they do is they'll go around and do the towers. You know, other people tank. They actually did a pretty decent job of like divvying up game styles.
So I'm looking forward to whenever you guys get the game, with us just having Discord up and us playing.
Nice.
Yeah,
I think it's good. Oh, one last thing I remember I was going to say here: inventory. You know how if you're trying to get like a specific piece of armor, you have to keep going check, did I get that piece or not?
Mm-hmm.
You can wish list items now, and when you finally get everything, it notifies you immediately.
Nice.
Little quality of life stuff like that. It just makes the difference.
Yeah, that was, like I said, that was my biggest gripe with World.
Yeah. So even though it's not as visually nice as World, I think Rise feels better.
Yeah, it's fair.
Gotcha.
I just wish they had the giant meals.
Oh, they don't have those in this?
They have Moki, I think is what it's called. They're like these, what the like
M-O-C-H-I?
I think I'd have to look.
That would be mochi.
Hold on. But they've simplified the food too. So now you just chew through the ingredients, and they tell you really clearly what the effect is and what's the chance of the effect actually hitting.
Oh, okay.
And then if you have every single effect hit, they do a special animation where your character's like, yeah!
Nice.
I'm looking up real fast to see what the food is. Oh, it's because you see them making it. It's they're hammering out dango rice flour, so I think they're called dangos.
Okay, I get you. All righty.
Yeah. So that's what I've been playing.
Okay.
So let's have a little fun with something here. This is an idea Dave had.
Yeah.
The dumbest game you've ever played.
So, okay, I guess I can start because I have played some truly stupid games. I've played a lot of crap too, but I don't know. I love I'm an anime fan. I love like the weird Japanese humor and stuff like that. And I'll also admit I'm a warm-blooded male at times, so scantily clad females don't bother me so much, but one of the games that I played to completion, and I actually had a fun time with it because there were also a lot of like inside anime jokes and references.
Real fast, time out, Dave. Real fast.
Yeah.
You should probably avoid the word completion when talking about a game like this.
Oh. I beat it. That's even worse.
I don't think there's a good phrase. Like you can't like you took it platinum, you beat it, you just completed it.
I got to the end there. I finished the plot.
You finished.
You
Damn
played
it!
through the game. You played
Yes.
through the game.
I hate you both. Because I told them about what it was before when I was just like, but this was it 2 years ago? But there is a extremely silly, stupid anime game called Akiba's Trip. However, on the cover of the box, that is all listed as one word. So really what it is joking, it's Akiba's Strip. You play as an otaku-crazed fanboy who goes to Akihabara, which is, the Japanese, like, otaku mecca with, like, all of the, anime goods and, video game stores, things like that. And while there, you sign up for a procedure, like a drug testing kind of thing, in which you will be paid with rare, hard-to-find anime goods. And what happens is you somehow end up becoming involved with a conspiracy about vampires whom you then have to defeat said vampires by exposing them to sunlight. However, the only way to do so is to attack said vampires until you can remove articles of their clothing. Henceforth, the title, Akiba's Trip, Akiba's Strip. So, I played this dumb game, and I gotta say, I was probably laughing about 90% of the time, because it was as stupid as I wanted it to be. The plot was as ridiculous as I wanted it to be. But again, there were so many inside anime jokes and references. Like, I probably heard, a vampire describe my power level as being over 9,000, way many times than it needed to be. And then I fought another otaku one time for, like, the honor of, like, the main female character. And, as he's battling me, suddenly he starts shouting out, this hand of mine glows with an awesome power. It does the whole dialogue from G Gundam whenever the main character was going to kill someone with his, like, special abilities. And in it also, there's, like, the whole time, there's one point in the game as a side mission, you can battle and strip the entire 48 members of the Japanese girl band AKB48. And you do that twice. Now, there's no nudity in the game, of course. They couldn't get away with that. So basically, you're stripping people to their skivvies. However, if you build up, like, a meter powerful enough, well, then you can, unleash an ultra attack that, it's implied that they're naked, but then, of course, they have the always ever-present anime, the obscuring tree branch or light glare or, conveniently placed sign always. And so it was dumb. That's all I have to say. I enjoyed my time with it, but it is the stupidest thing I have ever played. And would I play it again? Probably. It's just, that's what I needed at that point in my life. I just needed something stupid to laugh at. And it's just like, the fart jokes and nudity. and that's what I wanted. So, yay!
Nice.
It's almost as bad as the time we watched Jesus Christ Vampire Hunter, Tyler.
I was thinking that the entire time you were talking about it.
Yeah, the only thing is the vampires are not trying to graft lesbian skin onto their bodies so they become immune to sunlight. So, some people are just like, Your hands aren't clean in this either, Tyler. We have done some dumb stuff and enjoyed
We
some
have.
dumb media.
We have. So I'll use that as a segue into my dumb, because I took this dumb in a very different way, but it's not going to sound different by the title of the game. Ding Dong XL.
Oh my.
Are you sure that was a video game?
It was a video.
You sneak in like your parents' video drawer.
So here's the funniest thing. It's a one-button game where you're like a ball or icon that you can unlock different ones.
So that way you can play with your left hand?
Anyway, press a button and it shoots across the screen. So all you're trying to do is keep pressing it to go back and forth while missing all the stuff that's coming across the screen.
This sounds good.
It's a single button
that shoots across the screen. What the f*** are you guys playing?
55 minutes in, I'm adding another.
Apparently, it's playing Ding Dong XL. Nice.
So would it be terrible then to explain how if you wait too long, it builds up and gets bigger?
Tyler, this is not a video game.
This is almost as bad. This sound, by the way you're describing it, this was also another. No, I have not played this game, but I was watching a channel I like on YouTube that I found recently called.
What's the name of the channel?
Girls Play. It is a all-female YouTube gamer channel, but I also really like them because they do a lot of try not to laugh challenges, and I love that crap. And Markiplier hasn't done one in about a year and a half, but they got on and they found a game called Genital Jousting. I am not going to describe that on this podcast because we will get immediately slapped with like an obscene material lawsuit. But you can find images and video of it on YouTube. And I encourage you to do so when you're well away from children because it was hysterical.
Safe search on, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep, safe search on.
None of those. There's no way to escape the innuendo on those games.
No.
And there's zero things sexual in the actual game. There's nothing in the game except a disc and geometric shapes coming across the screen. That's it.
Wow.
And yet we have somehow made it grotesque and obscene.
Well, I mean, it is called Ding Dong XL. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
They had to know. They had to know that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Phil, what's some dumb stuff you played?
I was going to say Superman 64, you perverts. That's what I'm like, oh yeah, that game was stupid. You just ran around, you threw cars. You guys are bringing out Ding Dong XL.
Oh, come on. You've never played like an Adult Swim Flash game that made you question things?
I did play
What am I doing with my life?
Extreme Volleyball, and that was pretty bad even for what it was.
I have 4 of those games in my collection. I'm not proud.
I mean, it came out when I was in high school. I was a teenager.
Oh yeah. Well, I think on a previous podcast I talked about how didn't we get like a friend to talk us into playing it in like a co-ed party, and then just as we're watching, all the girls at the party just couldn't take their eyes off the screen and just like, why are they even wearing clothes? That's not how those work. It's like water balloons, during an earthquake. It's just no.
I vaguely remember that, but I hope it's not true.
That bikini is so tight that it would cut off circulation.
We had a party with a bunch of girls and we played extreme beach volleyball.
Yep.
I'm fairly certain this happened.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we had a party where Tyler gave me a giant Sonic the Hedgehog plush toy, and that thing got molested so much that night. It was... I mean, poor Sonic, but then again, he does have all those weird pictures on the internet, so...
By the end of the night, he was just sitting in the corner. Gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. So another dumb game I like to play that is not an actual game, but it's a lot of fun, is what's this garbage on the Switch shop this week?
Oh,
yeah.
You told me you and Jackie play this.
Yeah, so what it is we just pull up, what's new, what's coming out, what's on sale, and anytime we get a real dumb one that's got a trailer, c'est magnifique. That's how I've learned of such treasures as Galgun.
So wait, these are new games on the Switch store?
Sometimes.
Or discounted, yeah. Are you familiar with Galgun, Phil?
Again, the Girls Play channel, they play a lot of these dumb games. So that's how I found out about Genital Jousting, Galgun, other things like that.
I'm trying to think of the correct way to put it. It's you have a handheld device that causes euphoria in young women. To the point where
euphoria. Yeah, it's about as you.
To the point where they lose their undergarments.
It's about as euphoric as a late '90s, early aughts herbal essences shampoo commercial for women.
Yes,
man.
Yes,
there is a lot of weebs in gaming.
Yep. Okay. I played this game too, Tyler, after you told me about it. The one I found, however, was called, and I have not bought this game. I think if I were to, it would put me on a list somewhere, just like, this man is no longer allowed to, be near children. But I did the same thing. I got on, I'm like, okay, let's play this game. Tyler says it's great. What is the dumb game? And it was called Panty Party. Only it's a fighting game. But you play as the undergarments and battle the other undergarments. So I literally have it up on my phone right now. There is a picture of ladies' underwear, like Target reticle, and fighting each other. Oh, fantastic! And apparently there's a story mode to it. I have no idea why you would need a plot for that game as opposed to underwear is fighting.
So here's another game that I found that I have not bought yet because I'm waiting to just experience it with you guys when the pandemic's over. It's a fighting game. It is called Fight of Gods.
Oh, I know about this game.
So Phil, I want your take on this. I'm gonna read some of the roster to you, and just let me know what you think of this game. Okay?
I mean, it's better than what we've been discussing so far.
All right.
Well, but this brings religion into it.
Anubis.
Okay.
Buddha. Freya. Odin. Zeus. Santa Claus. Moses.
Okay.
And Jesus.
These are playable characters?
Yes.
That actually sounds awesome.
Okay, but Jesus has basically ripped the chunks of the cross. and basically is using them as makeshift boxing gloves. So he still has them nailed through his hands, but is basically pummeling people.
I thought it was more like Tomfa sticks.
Oh, he can spin them around too. Oh, I saw that. I was just like, oh. There are some lines I don't cross.
That sounds pretty terrible.
Oh, it was. I watched like fight. It's almost as bad as the crazy characters that started showing up in that fan version of Mortal Kombat character cast that we watched. That was great. We talked about it, I believe, after the podcast last week, but there is a fan version of Mortal Kombat that has taken like every character from the original three, through trilogy, and made a fan version, but it's added more characters, and some of them are just dumb fan characters. So you got like Slime, the other green ninja, and Hydro
with Acid.
Oh yeah, not to be confused with Acid. He's the other green ninja. Wait, isn't he a robotic other green ninja?
You're right. It was Raptor, or that was Reptile with just a lizard head, which is not to be confused with Lizzie.
Yep. And then they had female noob Cybot, who was just boob Cybot.
I think my favorite is still just Sheborg.
Yeah, Sheborg.
Yeah,
that was pretty good. Amazing.
Again, when the pandemic's over, we need to. We've had bad movie nights before. We need to have a bad gaming night.
Oh yes. And I still say, when I get to 2,000 games in the collection, I will have like maybe like a best of classic gaming night. I think that'll be a fun time too. But we definitely need also just bad video game night, and we each like we'll play Panty Party and like Akiba Strip, and maybe some of these games that I keep seeing on like this YouTube channel. Apparently, there was another one that they were playing called "Where's My Mommy," and basically, I cannot I'm going to describe this. You play as a nugget of crap in a human intestinal tract, and you broke off from a larger nugget of crap, and now after like a bowel movement, your mother has gotten away from you. So you have to navigate the human intestinal tract, which is apparently like the Battletoads bike level in terms of speed and obstacles to catch up to her. It was some of the dumbest crap I've ever seen.
No pun intended?
Yeah, I guess. But what's even funnier is that, like, some of the obstacles in the game, like as you're going through this intestinal tract, you're like, food items. And then it's like rubber duck, Rubik's Cube, used condom. And it's just like, what the hell?
What was this called?
Where's My Mommy? On Steam.
Okay, so I just pulled up the deals on eShop right now.
Yes.
I'm just going to see if I can find a couple of gems here.
Okay.
Let's see here. I thought I just saw one. Oh, Gangsta Paradise.
Ooh.
Let's see here. My Magic Florist.
It sounds like a 3DS Street Pass game.
There's a game that's just called Curling.
Ugh.
Well, like the winter sport.
Gotcha.
Let's see here. Suicide Guy Collection.
Okay.
I'm not seeing many of the... Okay, that is straight up a stripping game. Love Kami Divinity Stage. Kami means
Oh.
God.
Okay. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yep. Slots of Seasons. Adventure Llama.
Oh jeez.
Diamond Girl. An Earnest Education in Love.
We're going to hell for playing that one.
Okay, this one sounds dirty, but it's not.
Mhm.
Slither Loop.
No, I'm sorry. I'm also on Facebook reading. Someone posted this. Phil, your gal will appreciate this. Charcuterie is just a Lunchable that majored in musical theater.
She would. Oh my god.
Wow. Just some of these things are just terrible looking.
They're hot crap.
Oh, yeah.
Steam has got is a gold mine for awful games. They've got some like furry games. They've got
they got Genital Jousting.
Yeah.
Where's my mommy?
Yep.
Oh.
Like they keep
Balls
popping up on
Out
Reddit
with a
every once in a while.
Z.
What?
Balls Out with a Z.
Oh, the Z makes it festive.
Oh gosh. Just
Up,
some of the what?
up. Tyler, how we doing on time?
We just hit 1 hour 11 minutes. Do you have something?
Well, no, it's just our fourth member for EDF is now wondering where we are.
Aha.
That's
Well,
fair.
you know what? I think this has been a very successful episode of Syrup Shots. We've learned some stuff today.
Successful.
We've learned some
We're
things
getting on a
today.
list. We're getting on a list with the government. This perverts did this, and then they talked about Big Dong XL and
And Dave finishing with the Pleasure King. And right now, the only way I can describe this, and I'm going to censor this out, is Phil's face is frozen on the screen in what I can only describe as the scene.
What? Is it frozen right now?
Yes.
Oh my god! I gotta get a new camera.
Oh wow! Oh, that made my head dizzy. I laughed so hard.
Wait, how long has it been frozen this whole time? Or like,
I just noticed that it's been frozen. You just I'll try to mimic this face.
It looks like that, or you're an infant trying to catch the airplane, is what it looks like.
alright, I'll have to get a camera with this microphone and just.
Here comes the airplane.
Or as in my example, an armada.
Jeez.
All right, you unfroze for a second, so you have a much more appropriate look now. Now you're sucking your finger. That's worse. That's worse.
Is this, did it freeze that way? Hold on. I don't know what I'm gonna do to get this to stop.
I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Everyone, be safe. Be kind.
This has been an episode.